Why do smart people work so hard on an online business and still stay stuck? They buy courses, they test ideas, they create content, they switch strategies, they stay busy, and yet nothing really clicks. Simon Sinek would say the problem often starts much earlier than people think. They started with what, and they did not start with why. Simon Sinek elaborates on this concept in his book. In his book Start With Why, Simon Sinek explains why some leaders, businesses, and movements inspire loyalty and long-term success, while others stay stuck in short-term tactics. It is interesting to note that this concept is not just about huge companies like Apple. It is also incredibly relevant if you are trying to build an online business, a side hustle, a personal brand, or even just a project you want people to care about. This is because if you miss this idea, you can end up doing a lot without really building much. One of the most memorable examples in the book is not about marketing at all. It is about car doors. A group of American car executives visited Japan to understand why Japanese factories worked so well. In American plants, workers used rubber mallets to force car doors into place. In Japan, they did not need that step. This was because, as the guide explained, they made sure the doors fit when they designed them. That is such a simple image. One business is constantly patching problems after they appear, while the other builds correctly from the start. Honestly, a lot of online businesses look like the rubber mallet version. People do not have a clear message, so they post more. They do not have a clear audience, so they chase more traffic. They do not have a real reason behind the business, so they keep switching tactics. This leads to more effort, more noise, and more patching, but not better design. Sinek's main point is that most people in businesses communicate by first explaining what they do, then how they do it, and maybe, if they get around to it, why they do it. However, inspiring people do the opposite. They start with why. They begin by explaining why they exist, why they care, and why this matters. This concept is bigger than branding, because when your why is clear, it affects the kind of business you build. It also impacts the offers you choose, the content you create, and the people you attract. Furthermore, a clear why determines whether you keep going when things get hard. Without that clarity, you are not building with direction. You are just reacting. Now, let us take the most famous example from the book, which is Apple. Sinek says Apple does not market like most companies. Most companies would say, "We make great computers. They are beautifully designed and easy to use. Do you want to buy one?" Apple instead communicates something closer to, "Everything we do is about challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently, and we happen to make great computers." That is a huge difference. One message starts with the product, while the other starts with belief. People respond differently when they feel a message reflects who they are or who they want to be. That is why some brands get customers, and others get followers. This connects to another key idea in the book. People do not make decisions as rationally as they think they do. Sinek talks about how the part of the brain responsible for language and rational analysis is different from the part that drives feelings, trust, loyalty, and decision-making. His point is simple. People can explain features logically, but that is not usually what truly moves them to act. That is why endless facts, features, and "look what my product does" content often feels flat. This type of content speaks to the head, but it does not speak to belief. If you are building online, that matters a lot because most people are not buying a link, a course, a newsletter, or a recommendation just because it exists. Instead, they are buying clarity, direction, trust, identity, and possibility. Sinek also makes a sharp distinction between manipulation and inspiration. Manipulation can absolutely work in the short term. This includes tactics like discounts, urgency, bonuses, scarcity, and hype. He gives the example of General Motors using cashback offers to increase sales. It worked for transactions, but it did not build loyalty. Once the incentive disappeared, customers disappeared too. That part is especially relevant online because it is very easy to create activity with hype. It is much harder to build trust. Trust is slower to build, but it is far more valuable because hype may get the click, but belief gets the comeback. So, what does this mean if you are building online? It means that before asking questions like, "What should I sell? What niche should I pick? What platform should I use? Or what trend should I follow?" you need to ask better questions first. You should ask, "Why do I want to build this? Why should someone care about what I am saying? Why this topic? Why this audience? And why me? This is not to be interpreted in an ego-driven way, but rather in a way that seeks clarity. If your business is only built around what is trending, you will probably burn out the moment the trend cools down. However, if it is built around something you genuinely believe in, your business gets stronger. Your message becomes clearer, your content becomes more consistent, your decisions become easier, and people can actually feel what you stand for. Here are 3 practical ways to apply Start with Why today. The first practical way is to write your why in 1 sentence. This should not be something polished, but rather something honest. For example, you might say, I want to build online because I want more freedom, but in a way that feels real and sustainable. The second practical way is to check whether your current strategy matches that why. If your why is simplicity but your strategy is chaos, then something is off. Similarly, if your why is trust but your content is all hype, something is off. The third practical way is to rewrite your message starting with belief, not features. Instead of saying what you do, start with what you believe. That alone can change how your content lands. So maybe the real reason many people stay stuck online is not a lack of effort. Perhaps it is a lack of alignment. They started with tactics, they started with tools, they started with trends. However, they never really started with why. When you get that part right, you do not just create better marketing. You create a business people can believe in, including yourself.